What's up, everybody? My name is Spencer. Welcome to American Electrician. On today's video, we're gonna be talking about my least favorite things as an electrician. You know, last time we did a video about my favorite things. There are also my not so favorite things, and we're gonna talk about those on this video. If you're an electrician or in the trades, feel free to let me know how you feel about this. Plan on getting some hate. Probably somebody saying, wow, I can't believe you don't enjoy getting up at 4 a.m. every day. Woo. So to that guy, appreciate you. I hope you're doing well. God bless, all that fun stuff. But that is one of the things. You do have to get up early. Sometimes it's earlier than not. Sometimes you don't have to get up till 6. Sometimes you have to get up at like 3:30 or work a night shift or whatever, something like that. That's not as common, but getting up super early is one of those things. The other thing is work environment. Not the people, that's not what I'm talking about. I've always enjoyed my people that I worked with, always loved, had much love for them. It was great, but cold, if it's outside, you're cold, or hot, one or the other. You know, those are two things that you just can't get away from. If you're building a new building, it's gonna be cold or it's gonna be hot. There's like 2 months out of the year where it feels good, unless you're in a different place than I am. I'm in Indiana. It's one or the other, other than for like 3 weeks in between where it's nice. Can't help it, it is what it is. You get used to it. You can dress for it if it's cold. If it's hot, you really can't dress for it. But really, even if it's cold, you can't dress for it. It's whatever, you get used to it. The other thing with work environment is if you're working inside in an existing building, there is a very large potential that it's a factory and that it's disgusting. You know, there's places that aren't, but I would say for the most part, you know, there's a lot of greasy factories, or if they're not greasy everywhere, they are gonna be greasy where you're going because nobody else goes there ever. It's gonna be covered in all kinds of dust and dirt and all kinds of nasty stuff like that, especially in the ceiling. You just get dirty, right? Not a huge deal. Honestly, not something I ever really cared for, except for a few places that were downright terrible. Did not enjoy those. But aside from those, you know, really like those forges and stuff like that, it's really not terrible. Definitely not the most comfortable work environment though. If that's something that bothers you, you're gonna be dirty pretty much every day. Now, aside from that, there are periods of time where you have to work very long hours, especially towards the end of the job. If somebody isn't managing it correctly and putting enough man hours on it early so that you are caught up, and when it comes time to finish everything out, you're not struggling to get everything done. This is a very common thing, and at the end of a job you have to work 50, 60 hours a week pretty fairly, and on top of that, you know, there's a good chance that you're traveling 45 minutes, an hour, depending on where you're at. You know, if you're in a city, going from one side of the city to the next is like an hour and a half during the wrong time of day. So you add those on top of that, on top of those hours, it does become quite taxing. Depending on where you work, you don't have much of a say of the location. I do like that the location changes, that's a bonus for me, but it's also not always a bonus because you don't know where you're gonna be going. You don't know where you're headed. You don't know how long the drive's gonna be next week. And you're praying that you don't randomly get stuck 2 hours away from home, because it happens. So aside from that, you know, traveling, I never traveled. Some people love to travel. Not me, not for me, sir. Never got stuck in that position though. That is mostly for companies who travel, and you'll know about it beforehand. Honestly, the gripes that I have about electrical work are not big deals. There's not a lot of things like that. They're just things that you need to know before you go into it. And if you're not that type of person and you don't want to deal with it, then don't do it. But really, those things are all pretty well, like, you can put up with them. It's a great skill to have. I've got a ton of videos on things that I do like. I'll tag that video up here. And also, another video on how to enter the electrical apprenticeship. Check that out if you are interested. But that's it for me, you guys. I'm out. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you on the next one.